And welcome to Healthcare Economics. This is HCM 380 with Jefferson College of Health Sciences, and this is recorded for the spring of 2018. I'd like to welcome you all to the course. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Brad Daniel. I am a healthcare administrator, consultant these days. I've worked in hospitals, insurance companies, managed care, and even in hospice settings, long-term care area. So a little bit of experience all over the healthcare spectrum. I hope that's going to be helpful to you in the course. I will tell you I am more of a practitioner by training, so I'm going to work really hard to make sure this course is very applicable to things that you're going to encounter. We are here to learn about economics. Your textbook looks like this, and it's called Economics for Healthcare Managers. Okay, so this course is specifically tailored for you to apply what you learn and take it to work. It's a great class. I hope that when we walk out of this, we have our number one goal is that you are confident in some basic understanding of economics and you understand more about how things work in the healthcare system from a financial and economic standpoint. Economics, as you will learn, is different from accounting, has some similarities. There will be some math in this course, but economics is more about behavior and how the economy works when people make different decisions and actions. Okay, so I mentioned the book. It's okay if you get a used textbook. I would try to stick with the third edition because that's what the course is based on. You will need a book. Your test will be open book. Your test will be based on the textbook publisher's questions, which I have hand selected. There are maybe one or two quizzes where I've actually kind of completely rewritten them, but it is still based on the book. So make sure you have the book. This is not a class where you are going to be able to get a good grade if you don't buy the book. I would suggest as you go through the course that you watch the recorded lectures first, maybe. I mean, you can do whatever works for you, but you might find I'm pretty honest and I'm pretty frank about what you don't have to read. So you might want to watch the lecture at a high speed, then do your reading, and then maybe go back and watch it one more time. Whatever you find works best with you in an online course. But there are sections of the book I will flat out tell you you don't need to read. Okay, so look for that. And that's one way we'll find out if you're actually watching the lectures because I think you'll find them to be very helpful to you. This is a class that will sneak up on you. Parts of this class are well, the thing about economics is it's really a social science. So it includes lots of, qualitative stuff where you'll read it and you'll say, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. And then all of a sudden there'll be some math. So my point there is it's on you to do some of the problems at the end of each chapter. I'm not going to sit and do the problems in front of you. If that's probably the one critique we've had in the past, this book is laid out in a way that if you follow the course it's designed, the way it's designed, and you work some of those problems on your own, you're going to be fine. If you just get on the test and think you're going to wing it, you will not be fine, and you probably won't be very happy. So I am here for you. I will help you as we get stuck, and I do have study guides that I'm going to share as we go through, and they're going to be more real time. This is also, that brings me to my other point. This is not a class where you're going to binge and read 14 chapters all in one weekend and take the test. That might work for you in other courses. It's not going to work here. I've put a lot of time into spreading the work out. And I've also, based on feedback in previous courses, you have 4 quizzes in this class instead of sort of a midterm final. So each quiz is basically worth 25% of your quiz grade. So they're all very important, but if you don't do well on one of them, don't be crushed because there's lots of other ways to buttress up your grade. Okay, that brings us to the discussion topics. I've done those at the very beginning of the course. Go ahead and get those knocked out. Some of those, like the very first one, you don't have to read anything. It basically, I'm looking for your sort of initial input as a consumer. But as they go along, you'll find the discussions are fairly straightforward. I'm just looking for 1 to 2 paragraphs on those. And when you respond to a peer, really just 1 or 2 sentences. I'm really grading your initial and also your thoughtful responses. But I'm pretty lenient when it comes to discussion as long as it looks like it. I can tell that you put a good effort into it. And of course, I have taught, this is probably maybe the 20th course I have taught in the past 10 years, probably more than that. I can tell when people are winging it, so don't do it. I mean, put a good effort into this and you're going to do very well. That brings me to the paper. The paper is intended for you. The topic is obviously it's important for our course, it's important for our accreditation as a school, but most importantly, I want you to find something that you're very interested in and drill down on it. So take your syllabus, look through your syllabus. I've got the table here in the syllabus that has all of the topics. You can start looking over these right now. What catches your eye? What's exciting? And then look in your table of contents in your textbook. Which of these things are most interesting to you? Okay, it's so much better for both of us if you pick a topic that has some interest to you. I'm not going to tell you a topic. Please do not email me and ask me what your topic should be. You guys, you should be able to pick something out of here. Once you pick one, I will ask you to email it to me and get it pre-approved. And that's because we want to make sure we don't have 20 people writing on the same topic. Also, I think people in the past have found it to be very helpful. That's one of your chances to interact with me. And I try to give people very specific feedback and suggestions. Okay, there's a new thing we're adding this semester called micro lessons. These are little short videos that are intended to embellish, key topics of the course. So there's 4 micro lessons, which I will be posting as I record them. So look for those. Those embellish something that's already in the lectures that you have. But I think you'll find those to be helpful. And I will also tell you, as you're studying, especially as we get the mathematical section is more when we start talking about the cost curve, probably at the end of January. Don't let that sneak up on you, and don't be afraid. I think sometimes people hear the word economics. We've heard what our parents or friends have said about their economics courses, and if you're not really a big math person, or if it's been 10, 20 years since you got out of high school math, don't freak out. I mean, the math in this course is actually pretty easy. Just slow down, read the formula, try to figure out how the examples work in the book, and you're going to be fine. I am not here to stump you, but I am here to make sure that we're learning. I will say I spent a lot of time on the syllabus timing, so please don't ask me for extensions unless you absolutely need them. I'm an understanding person. If something comes up sort of as a life event, that's understandable, but it's going to be on you to kind of stick with the assignments. And they are aggressive, but they do support you getting a nice spring break and the work being spread out so you don't have to do it all in 1 week. I log in very frequently to Blackboard, so Blackboard will be our main device. I also have email on my phone with a Jefferson. I carry that with me everywhere I go, and people have found me to be very responsive. If you do need to call me, you're certainly welcome to do that, but you're going to have much better success if we prearrange by email. Mention the paper pre-approval. Please do not use a topic or a paper from another class. People like to do this, and people sometimes are very nice, and they ask me, and I usually, it's hard for me to say no, but I really want you to have an original thought when it comes to the paper and not be recycling a topic that. Now, if you're doing a paper in another class on emergency room overcrowding, and you want to write, and you've done a lot of research on it, and you have articles that maybe talk about the economic impact of emergency room overcrowding, I think that would be interesting. But this is not a class where, it's actually going to be pretty hard to just, cut and paste a paper from another course. So keep that in mind. And with that, I would say just keep up with the course online. Look for more guidance from me in the announcements. And try to have fun with this. Let's try to make sure we all walk away with a little bit better understanding of the healthcare system and how all the economics work. Thanks for your attention.